Hello. Today is Friday, January 26, 2024. And this is a sideshow. I'm Theodore Parker. And currently in this area, Kentucky, Lexington to be specific, the temperature is around 53 degrees and feels like 50. In this area, the high today will be 58 degrees. Cloudy with areas of fog. Highs in the mid-50s and lows in the mid-40s. Rain likely Saturday morning. Flu risk remain high over the next few days. Expect Thursday to be the next sunny day. Sunrise today, 7:47 a.m. Sunset, 5:53 p.m. The wind today will be around 9 miles per hour. AQI is good at 22. So, if you're watching the sideshow on Facebook and Instagram, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Talk about it on WhatsApp. The sideshow on YouTube. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And of course, don't forget, as I mentioned often, the Sideshow coffee cup with Sideshow logo on it, black 11-ounce ceramic, good for all beverages, hot and cold. Buy from me for $17 plus shipping and handling. Pay me through Cash App, $TR Parker 1, Cash App tag. So I know the last couple of shows I've been piling you and inundating you with information, and I guess that last show that included the BMI from the National Institute of Health left very little room to wiggle. Body mass index chart by height and weight from the National Institute of Health. But I thought I would, pull it back a little bit and add another few suggestions. Dial it back, as they say. If you remember, one of the last things that I talked to you about as far as weight loss is concerned is that you would have to reduce your calorie intake by 500 calories per day in order to lose 1 pound per week consistently, give or take, without yo-yoing and a lot of fad diets. That being said, I thought I would add another perspective to this journey and talk about grocery shopping and food choices for a little bit. You notice you go in the grocery store and you look around at your fellow shoppers and you don't see a lot of people smiling. Go in the grocery store. I'm in the grocery store. Yes, let's get this, And then you have the people that call themselves running in, sometimes literally, and running out, grabbing just a few items on their way to wherever they are going and going to the checkout line. And plus, there's very little exchange of conversations, couples, pairs, singles, people shopping, et cetera, with their carts. And the only time you might really hear something is when somebody says they need to put some more cashiers out here. And there you have the grocery shopping experience. You go in, you pick your items that you need, the items that you want, you pay for them and you come out. Very seldom, is a person in the mindset to actually appreciate how awesome grocery shopping can be. A lot of hard work goes into putting those items on the shelf, arranging them, pricing them, having enough variety of selection for everybody to get something that they need or want. And then the whole layout, you know, produce, fruit, canned goods, fresh meats, frozen, vegetables, breads, hundreds, if not thousands, of items for you to choose from. Milk, dairy, butter, all kinds of things. And yet you go in there like, you know, it's the worst place in the world I have to go to. Well, here's a few suggestions. Going to the grocery store, it's a good idea to have something to eat before you go in. Shopping hungry has been known to lead to a lot of impulse buying. I get this, I get that, I got a taste for this, I got a taste for that. You know, but if you have something to eat before you go, it kind of changes your perspective on on your purchases, what you buy, your food choices. And usually, you know, if you're like me and like everybody else, you buy by subjective meal planning. You know, chicken, you can either fry it or bake it. You know, some other kind of meat, fish, you know, beef, pork, whatever. You know, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if you're working and you got breakfast and dinner, lunch is what you want to have whenever you decide to have it. So there you are. But if you really take a moment to appreciate grocery shopping and not look at it as a horrifying experience, you know, you might learn to really appreciate going in the grocery store and all that it takes to put one together. First thing I would suggest is explore. All of us have some things, food-wise, that we have never tasted. So to start with, you should promise yourself, and this is not, you know, for your family and for your friends and for everybody else. It is for you individually. Promise yourself that when you go in the grocery store that you will try something new, something that you have never, ever tasted before. You know, look at the label and see how it's prepared in case you pick something that requires some other ingredients to go along with it. And just every time you go, whether it's once a week or every 2 weeks, however you shop, pick one item that you have never tried before. And just think how that expands your choices in enjoying food. Ice cream that you've never tasted before. You don't have to buy a gallon, just buy a pint, just for yourself, just for your own taste buds. In the bakery section, bread, different types of rolls and different types of bread, ciabatta bread, rye bread, all kinds of sourdough bread that you probably never even thought about tasting because you just walk past it and buy what the kind of bread you want to use for however you want to use it. Canned goods. You know, beans, string beans, collard greens, whatever, all the time, same time, all the way. And in the matter of storage, it goes canned goods, frozen, and then fresh. So you should also pay attention to your expiration dates. Sometimes you can walk in the store and buy milk and it'll have 7 days on it. Another time you go in there, it might have almost to the end of the month on it. So just endless choices. Pillsbury dough biscuits. They have so much variety. If you just took one different one every time you went in the store, that would be something new and different. Vegetables that you see but have no interest in. Just try some. But in the matter of calorie counting, a lot of us, as far as beverages are concerned, drink soda. So a regular soda maxes out some brands at 290 calories. And if you have 2 of those a day, that's 500 calories right there. So another option is to switch to diet beverages, sodas in particular, since that's what I'm talking about, because they have 0 calories. Now, some people, their taste buds say diet sodas are nasty or they don't like the taste of them or whatever. But if you can drop 500 calories without messing with your food, then why not? Just like that, just by switching to a 0-calorie beverage, you done drop calories without messing with your nutrition. So it's just something to think about. I mean, you go over in the frozen section, things that you've never tasted before, and there's so much variety. P.F. Chang's, TGIF's, all your famous, fabulous restaurants now have frozen offerings. So there's no need to, be down in the dumps about changing your food habits when you have so much food that you can explore. Let's say one different item that you never tasted before every time you go in the grocery store, just for yourself. But that soda thing is a big deal. And the same way with alcoholic beverages, beer, wine, alcohol, they all have a calorie count. I know some people, I've heard the expression beer is food. However, I know how they figure it out, because beer comes from barley, so that's their food. Beer is food because it comes from barley, but that's just a hilarious joking reference to it. But it does have a calorie count, so things that you just consume without thinking, you're just going to have to be a little more conscious of. And there are a lot of less painful ways to cut calories than just saying, oh, no desserts, no bread, no starches, no carbs, no this, no that. Just take a moment, take a breath, on your food journey. It's not exactly like take time to smell the roses, but like I say, it's a process, not perfection, but you don't want it to be a chore. You don't want it to be a chore. You don't want it to be depressing. You want to enjoy the changes that you are adapting to, as well as benefit from. So the same with seafood. You go over to the seafood counter and you pick something you have not tried before. I know I'm big on whiting and big on catfish, but actually, if you think about it, catfish, you have to pull the skin off a catfish. Actually pull the skin off of it. Whereas you take something like a whiting, you fry it, you got the skin or whatever right there. Flip side, back side, etc. And if you live near like a wharf or someplace like that, like in DC Southwest, they have the seafood wharf. You just get an endless variety of seafood, and they will clean and prep it for you right there. So appreciate it. Like I say, hundreds of items, if not thousands, in the grocery store, that you can just pick one item every time you go in there that's different or that you have not tasted before. You can walk down one aisle and just look at breads, not from the bakery, and just different loaves of breads. And, when you're supposed to have that kind of bread. Take a minute to look at the label, see what it is, calorie count, etc., etc. But most breads run between 70 calories and 80 calories a slice. whether it's Hawaiian bread, sliced or rolls. All those kind of things are there for you to take advantage of. We get into habits that suit more or less maybe our time. If you're not microwaving it, then, putting it in the oven and whatever you might want to prepare on top of the stove besides breakfast foods. And there's a lot of variety of breakfast foods in frozen. You can get little bowls that has everything that you go out to the restaurant for and pay top dollar for. You go to a restaurant and eat, say, breakfast, whatever your choice of meat is, bacon, sausage, eggs, potatoes or grits or whatever you might want to have. Power went out, folks, so I see the tape is still running, so maybe they'll come back on in a few minutes. But that's what happened. We had a power out right now. So anyway, like I was saying, that's groceries. So I'm going to keep talking. Maybe the power come back on because I see the timer is still running on my screen. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was the Hamas-Israeli war past 100 days. So this is going to be like a mixture of modern day events and biblical history because of where Israel is situated and the Gaza Strip between Syria and Egypt. So let me just start this tale and we'll see how things develop. You can listen even if you can't see me. So let's go back. From 1922 to 1948, the area that is known as Israel and Gaza was known as Palestine, and it was managed by the British. In 1948, the British gave Israel, or gave the Jews, the country that is now Israel. The term Palestine kind of got pushed to the side. Sometimes in protests now, you'll see pro-Palestinian or pro-Palestine, which dates from that period. So once the British gave the Jews the country that is now Israel, Syria started attacking them. So from that time till now, there's been off and on war with Syria attacking Israel. So now, presently, the government that supervises the area of the Gaza Strip for the Palestinians, formerly Palestinians, is referred to as Hamas on the West Bank. So, in 21 and 22, although Israeli leader Netanyahu says that there is great pains taken for freedom of religion and practice, Gaza Strip is mostly occupied by Muslims. So in 2021 and 2022, what we refer to as Easter is a combined holiday for the Muslims of Ramadan and for the Israelis as Jews, Passover. And there is a small period where they overlap. So Jerusalem is considered to be the capital of Israel, and where it is situated is also a mosque called Al-Aqsa, which is a mosque that sits on holy ground. Because to the Muslims, the three holiest sites are Medina, Mecca, and the Mosque al-Haqqa, which is also referred to as Dome of the Rock. The reason for this is because inside the mosque, which also sits on holy ground for Jews, is supposed to be the rock that Abraham was prepared to sacrifice Isaac on, according to biblical times. For the Muslims, according to the Quran, this same rock is what Muhammad passed by on his journey. Israel had already taken a mosque in Hebron and changed it to a synagogue. And there's talk about them wanting to do the same thing with the third holiest site for the Muslim community, the Mosque al-Aqsa. So there is back and forth about it. In April of 2023, when Ramadan and Passover and we were celebrating Easter, there was a rumor started that the Jews were going to go into the mosque and sacrifice a goat. Well, again, this is part biblical history because when the temple in Jerusalem was the first one, was destroyed by the Romans, at that time, Jews were sacrificing goats in the temple. But when the second one was built, that practice was no longer going on. Plus, where the mosque sits as far as the temple in Jerusalem is concerned, holy ground for the Jews would be that it's the innermost part of the temple, where only the high priest was supposed to go. No regular folks were supposed to go inside that area or be in that area. So in April of 2023, when this rumor started, Israeli police stopped Muslims from going into the mosque and allowed Jews to go in on a tour. So when that happened, Muslims went into the mosque and barricaded themselves in. Israeli police came, and after not being able to talk the Muslims out of the mosque, broke in, and in the process, 50 people were injured, Muslims, and 400 Muslims were arrested. They used stun grenades and rubber bullets. Now, after that occurred, we have October 7th, and Hamas started an assault, land, sea, and air, but also went into Israeli territory and killed 1,200 people, most of them young, for the Jewish community that's under 30, at a concert. Took 240 hostage, killed 133 of them, and held 144 hostage. In support of Hamas's move, Syria started sending missiles into Israel. So there we have the start of the Hamas-Israeli war. With its modern events as we see them unfolding today. Well, I'm not going to try and pursue this any longer. I don't have any lights, and you just hear my voice, and I'm going to let it be what it be for right now. February 1st starts Black History Month. And also, 2024 is a leap year. That's it. Hashtag.